Hi there, time for another Mastertronic game review, and this time I'm going to be looking at Formula 1 Simulator. Let's get it going. Now, Formula 1 Simulator is actually Mastertronic's biggest selling game. Across all formats, it actually sold over 500,000 copies, which is astonishing. A lot of those were on the Commodore 16, where it sold over 100,000 copies, but still it sold a lot on the Commodore 64 as well. It's from Mr. Chip Software, who did, as I've mentioned before, a lot of the games that Mastertronic published. So it's loading up now. We'll take a look at the packaging and take a look at the game. Game's loading. Nice title screen on there. Take a look at the packaging. Pretty straightforward stuff. It is an early release, so it's got the grid style packaging as expected, and nice enough sort of picture on the front cover there of somebody racing in the Formula 1, I suppose. Looking on the inside, we've got a little bit of a description on the back there. Straightforward stuff again, and some screenshots. Excuse me. Screenshots of the game, which looks decent enough for the time. This one was released in 1985. So on the inside there you've got the aim of the game, which is pretty straightforward for a Formula 1 simulator, I would think. Controls, loads of instructions, the usual stuff, and the rest of it's the instructions in other languages. The game starts up then with a nice Rob Hubbard tune on there. Probably not one of his best, but still got a nice sort of thumping beat to it and so forth. There's no title screen, no indication of what the game is called once it loads or who made it. It's straight into this driving screen here. So let's give the game a start up and see what happens. Okay, so you've got a choice of courses, 9 different courses. I'll stay British and choose Silverstone. So it looks a bit like pole position really, I think it's fair to say. You've got low and high gear, change with the fire button, and you drive along, avoid the other cars, try and get around the corners and so on. And nice explosion when you crash. The timer's ticking down, so obviously like pole position, I guess if you run out of time it's game over. What else to say? It's a bit bland landscape. Oh god, not my best race. There's an interesting sort of steering wheel effect at the bottom of the screen. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, the steering wheel at the screen turns when you turn. I'm never going to get past this purple car. So that's an interesting little effect that they've put on there. The most notable thing for me at the moment is I've got no idea where I actually am on the course. I could be near the end, I could be at the beginning. I've got no idea whether there's a corner coming up or anything like that. So that's a bit vague. Oh, and I've just gone on to lap 2 there, and the timer's reset. But there was no indication that I was coming to the end of the lap or anything. So I shall continue driving and we'll see. Maybe you only have to do a certain number of laps in the time limit. I'm at least getting better at dodging the cars. Sound effects are pretty functional, as are the graphics. Good engine noise. Not so sure about the squeaking sound of the brakes when you go around the corner. And I'm on lap 3 now. Turning it away at 240 mile an hour. Scores racking up as well. I'm now on lap 7. No end in sight in terms of number of laps traversed. I'm guessing you basically just carry on going until you run out of time. And as I'm starting to get a little bit bored of this course now, I might just run the clock down. So effectively it just seems to be a high score game, in so much as you just keep going for as long as you possibly can, avoid as many cars as you can. There is this little thing underneath the score here which a load of zeros on. Not entirely sure what that's for at the moment. Oh, and that's another lap through now. Right, time to run the clock down and see what happens. So we'll start by going around the whole track in low gear and crashing into as many cars as possible. The explosion's a bit unspectacular as well, really, compared to the picture on the front cover of a car going flying up in the air with tyres and everything. The other thing I've noticed is that the car actually accelerates by itself, so there's actually no need to push the joystick forward to accelerate. Down does make it slow down. While we're getting to the end of this, I will say, given that you've got 9 different courses to play on, a nice high score challenge, reasonable graphics and sound, back in 1985 I think there's no doubt this would have been worth $1.99. It's a decent enough alternative to a game like Pole Position, which I imagine probably cost the best part of £10, and I believe wasn't a very good conversion on the Commodore 64 anyway. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, so that number's now counting down. I guess that might be number of cars passed. Who knows? Doesn't tell you anywhere in the instructions. Anyway, with the annoying beeping sound in the background, my score is rapidly increasing. And I think that's pretty much it.